Hi, because I was doing things off the top of my head, um, I forgot a couple things that I think are important enough to do a second video, and I'll try to keep it short because, you know, I bet you're tired of staring at me. But anyway, um, one thing that would help you if you're first starting is to buy things on eBay. Look at other people's listings, see what they write in there, and kind of take what you can from their listings. Um, them taking the pictures that they take, what angles they do, what kind of background they use, and copy that as much as you can. What they write in their listings. I have that, I think it's ventio.com. It's the marquee that is your items on the bottom. I don't know how much that helps as far as revenue, but I like it, so I put it on there. And I chose just other listings that I have. It's like spotlighting the other listings that I have on there. I like that. And I use 18 sized font because it's just a lot easier to read if it's bigger, of course. And you want to use as bland of a background as possible. As white and as bland as a background as possible, because you don't want any distractions. You want people to focus on your product. And I know some people use shadow boxes. I'm not to that point yet. And like I said in my other video, postal scale's handy because they get sent an email automatically. It worked before because of a tracking number, but now the post office automatically provides you a tracking number, which is a little bit more work, but they do provide you a tracking number. Before, it was a huge deal because you got a tracking number if you had a postal scale and if you paid for your shipping directly through eBay or Amazon. Also, the shipping's a little cheaper, but it's not a huge difference, but it is a little cheaper as far as shipping. So you do eventually buy your scale back. And like I said, I mean, mine was $35 plus shipping. And you can buy them for $20, or so. Who knows? You might find one at a yard sale. I don't know. But yeah, it is worth a little money. It's just one of the investments in your business. But yeah, I don't know about Craigslist. I've heard that you shouldn't take a picture of an item like right in front of your big screen TV. I've heard of people selling electronics on Craigslist, and you attract criminals if you sell electronics on Craigslist. A laptop or a video game isn't that hard to ship, and so I would rather sell that and send it through the mail. Now that sounds suspicious because what if someone realizes it's electronics and steals it? Well, that's the reason why you get insurance. If something's $50 or more, I put insurance on it for those instances. I don't put insurance on everything, of course, but I do put them on the things that are worth some money. Especially if it's an electronic, you would worry about that. If it's, Xbox with some games, you would definitely put some insurance on that. But anyway. But yeah, definitely take pictures of something without, people are stupid. And so, only take a picture of that item. If you have, this is like a Sharpie, but it's big. I got it because it was cheaper. It was on sale. It's not like cheaper than a Sharpie, like it's cheaper made. It was on sale. I bought a 2-pack of them for like $3 or something. But anyway, let's say this is like that Prince mug from before. If you're just watching this video, I mentioned this Prince mug a lot. Just as an example. If you're taking a picture of that in this pen, someone will assume that they're getting this. And so when you just send that mug they will send you an angry email saying, I wouldn't have bought it if I thought it was just the mug. And this is misrepresenting the item. And so you're wrong and I'm right, and I deserve a refund. Even though I specifically said, like the lunchbox thing, the Ghostbusters lunchbox. Someone asked me if there was a thermos. I didn't mention it. I said it was a thermos brand, but it's not like I had a picture of a thermos. I didn't mention it. I just said that it was a lunchbox, you know. And so I'm not. I wanted to say to them, for the record, I would have added $8 more to the listing, or 10 or whatever. If it had the thermos, I wish it had a thermos. It would have been $10 more. You know, I'm not going to sell if I know something will go for 20. I'm not going to sell it for 10. That's for damn sure. But anyway, yeah, you definitely want to only take a picture of that item. Like I said before, do not assume things. Think like, what's the dumbest thing that someone can think of, and try to eliminate that. That's definitely something. But of course, like, I have this lamp here. I turn that on. At least this corded part, I turn this on at least if I'm taking pictures in here, because it's a lot brighter. I have standards for my listings. You know, I try to take excellent pictures of things. If you take an excellent picture of something, it'll show blemishes, it will show mistakes, and so it will lower the chance of you having a refund. And you just want to, the picture sells the item. And so if you have a great picture of something, it will sell the item for you. It will push people to buy the item. And they'll respect you more. They think that you have your shit together. You and me, they think I have my shit together sometimes, which is amazing. But you know, that's something that I suggest, and just buy things from people. I've learned things about items, on how to ship items, from people. You know, packing materials are cheap on eBay compared to buying them retail. So that's a good thing to know. Amazon, of course, they're good to buy packing supplies from too. Bubble wrap and tape, and I've heard Staples has a good deal on packaging tape. I'm gonna have to look into that. And so yeah, that's it. And you know, Craigslist is good for bulky items. You know, things that you don't want to ship. eBay has a pickup only option, and I've used that before. I've never had someone come here before. I think it's great when someone buys something and they're fairly local. They're from like Bend, Oregon, or Kent, Washington, or Seattle, or someplace local. I think that's great, and it's cheaper shipping for me. You know, I might make a couple dollars on shipping. It was Kent, Washington, they bought a VCR from me. It was a VCR that Harry and I had that we didn't want anymore. And I didn't get a positive, I don't think, but I didn't get a complaint either, so I'm assuming that it got transported great. And I don't suggest buying VCRs from thrift stores to sell unless it's like really cheap. It's like $5 or $10 and it works. Then go ahead, but they're a pain in the ass to ship. They're so big and so bulky. This I took good 30 minutes, you know, putting bubble wrap on the front to protect the front from cracking, you know, and just filling the gaps and stuff. It was time consuming to send it. But like I said in my other video, you have to think, this was something we had that we were getting rid of, but you have to think about, like, that's part of, you know, when it says shipping and handling, some people think, well, you're getting profit and that's your work. Well, if something's a pain in the ass to ship, you kind of want to charge a little bit more for shipping than just the literal shipping cost. If you have to work extra hard on shipping something. But yeah, I'm not that petty as far as putting my name or my email address on my pictures. Um, I, I'm modest. I don't think someone will steal my pictures. I definitely don't suggest stealing pictures. Take 10 minutes out of your time and take pictures of your own damn. Like, there's so many cameras out there. Your cell phones nowadays, back in my day, cell phones didn't have cameras, but it's just everything has a camera. You can buy one, at a yard sale for $20 or less. My camera is kind of crappy. I'm going to have to eventually upgrade. I If I shake a little bit in my hands, it's a little blurry, and so I have to go back. I have to put the memory card back in my camera, take the camera, and take another picture. That's one of the downsides. Is it's tedious. It's like the dumbest things you have to go back and do. Um, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things is because you can be a little creative and shoot it at a little bit of a different angle. It's hard to explain. It's just photography is really creative and really artistic, and so even if it's taking a picture of an item to sell, I like to be a little artistic. It's like if I'm selling many items at once, I can put them in a little bit of a pattern. It might be only I notice it, but that's fulfilling to me is to take the pictures and be a little creative, and um, I'm satisfied when something looks really good in a picture. I actually like admire something. Like I like look at my pictures and admire. Um, if I think it's at a really cool angle, I'm like, hey, that's really cool. I really like that, and I keep all my pictures. I just, it's like walking down memory lane. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember last year I sold that. It was cool. Um, oh yeah, I remember when I sold that. I don't have it anymore, but I have the picture to stare at. But yeah, I'll find one eventually. Like, I justified to, like before, like I was talking about, I'm like, I'll find another one of those. If I want that bad enough to keep it, I'll find another one, and I'll keep the next one. It's like I promised to myself, I'll keep the next one. Um, and so it's not just like building up in my house. I buy something because I think it's cool, and then I sell it, and it leaves my house somehow, and I'm just not like a hoarder, and I, you know, keep all this stuff. I've sold at least way over 100 items, and so it's like all these items that are that I've that have left my house, and I can say that I owned it at one time. Uh, like if I find a Star Wars action figure lot, I can say one time I owned. Like if someone said, "Hey, I remember when I was a kid, I had that," and I'm like, "Yeah, a couple months ago I sold one of those to someone," and whatever. But yeah, I'm doing a second video because I forgot a couple really key points that I needed to go back and say. Um, and I think that's it. So, yeah. You take care. Um, I was trying to think of some sign language. Because of Jennifer, I learned some sign language in my life. There's actually a vintage Sesame Street sign language book, kids book, that I saw on Etsy for like $30, which is more than I would ever want to spend. So I'm actually wanting to find one at a yard sale or something to buy for myself. Um, but yeah, I know some sign language enough to get by, but I'm not fluent. But yeah, like bye. Crap. I'm trying to think of what like nice. Like you watching me makes me happy. I I hope crap. That's probably not right, is it? I hope I put you to sleep. No, or never. I I hope I make you happy for forever and ever. See, I know some sign language. Um, but yeah, catch you on the flip side or something, you know. Now I'm just making shit up. That's not. First rule of sign language, you don't just make shit up as you come along. You actually learn sign language. See, now I have to do a sign language video. I don't know enough about sign language to actually do a video about sign language. Um, but yeah, I love, like, if I ever have a kid, I'm going to teach them some sign language, that's for sure. That would be amazing and a half. But yeah, I'll see ya.